another mini journal Monday, and for this week I've been given the prompt of autumn, fall, so thank you very much for that. So what I'm going to be doing, hopefully, is I've got an idea to do some autumn fairies playing in like the leaves and stuff, and throwing the leaves up in the air. I have got some drawings that I've done so far. I'm pleased with that one, but some of them need a bit more work in them. As you can see, I'm working in my new Fedora, so it is coming in useful, and I'm using the sketchbook in there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use this sketch that I've done, and I'm going to create again a larger version of this fairy here. I'm going to create a bigger version of it. Now, to get the body for this, I've used this book here, which is one that I picked up from the charity shop a few months ago. In here there's like loads and loads of little pictures of things, and in one section there is fairies. So I've started using this for reference, for just like, you know, how to draw things and outlines for images and things like that, and it's coming really handy. They've got some alphabets. I think it's like a bit like what a clip art book would have been like, apart from the images are a lot smaller, but it is coming in useful. So that's where I've got the, you know, the sort of like the idea from for the body, and then I've added the wings in. I've gone on to the Graphics Fairy, and I've printed out some of their butterfly wings, because I like the idea of perhaps putting some of these onto the fairy that I'm going to draw. What I'm going to do, because obviously I've got to work really small for my mini art journal, but I'm worried because I'm not going to get a lot of detail in the fairy if I do a really small. So I'm going to do what I've done before, which is do the object in big, and then like these here, I've done these for a swap before for one of my deconstructed art journal pages, and then I just shrunk them down to size that I needed. So I'm going to do that today. All I'm going to do is start drawing out in this book. Like, this is just my sketchbook, and I put loads of different ideas in this. So I'm just going to use one of the pages and start drawing out what I want my fairy to look like on here. I'm going to have about 2 or 3 different fairies, I think, and then I'm going to use these as the wings. Now, on the Graphics Fairy, this one is the one you can print off, because I'm sure you can see all the text is the right direction, and because a lot of those you've only got one wing, obviously I wanted the other side as well. So all I did on Microsoft Word was flip the image, and then now I've got like a pair of wings. So if you think I've got that side and that side, so I've got two sets then for each one. If anybody wants a tutorial how to do that on Microsoft Word, showing you how to flip the image, please just put in the comments below, and I shall do that. And if there's any other things for, you know, importing images, you know, things like that, just put a comment down below, and I can do a little tutorial on that. It's not a problem at all. So let's get started with this fairy. So here's my drawing that I'm taking some inspiration from, and I'm also going to be flipping through this because last night I was using my book to learn how to do the faces. So I've done some eyes in depth and some faces, so I'll be, you know, looking at that for some inspiration for the eyes. I'm going to work on this side of the page because I don't like working on this side so much. So I'm using just a cheap mechanical pencil because I just like the fact that you don't need to keep on sharpening it. Right, that's going to be the face. Then, believe it or not, your eyes are halfway down your face, and then that's for the nose, and that's for your mouth. So I'm going to flip to, actually I'm going to do the complete outline first of all. I always need a reference when I'm drawing. I'm not very good at drawing from my memory, like I need a picture. So it was really good the other day because Cinnamon Cooney posted a link to a wonderful website which is called, I think, PHP Art or something like that. I'll put the link down below. But what it is it's a resource where loads of artists put pictures of things and they're not copyrighted, so they'll put images of like people or nature, anything really, and then what you can do is you can download, you can not download, sorry, I don't know whether you can, you probably could download them, I'm not sure, but you can use those pictures as reference. Now I'll just keep them on my iPad, I don't like download them or anything, but I'm presuming that you'd be able to. They're not copyrighted images, you're not going to get in trouble using them, to help you with your art, you know, and to have a reference. You know, sometimes when you're drawing like eyes or faces or something, you know, all we need is a bit of a helping hand just to get those done, and sometimes you just haven't got it. I don't like drawing hands at all, but I'm hoping I can get away with doing it like that, so it looks like her hands are just sort of like clenched more so than anything. You know, I do need to start looking at these little things like hands. I mean, I used to hate drawing faces, but I love drawing them now, so I just need to have time to sit and to practice, and it's not always possible, so maybe that's something that I can do when I'm on the bus or something, or I don't know. It's not really easy drawing when you're on the bus, but if I print out maybe a few images and then I can start practicing, because that's all it needs sometimes is, you know, you say you can't do these things, but all you might need to do is just devote a bit more time to doing them. So I'm going to do the eyes now. I'm going to flip to where my eyes are on my book, because I started drawing these eyes, so I'm going to use these as reference. So just do inside. Put some eyebrows on. And then you've got that funny bit. I actually really enjoy drawing eyes now. I don't know what it is, I just enjoy drawing them. Drawing the nose now. That's I did a course on Willow in Arts, and that's how she always did her noses, is to do like 3 little circles. Well, I still find noses quite awkward to draw, but like I said, everything comes with time. We can't be perfect straight away, can we? And then I might bring her mouth up a bit actually, looking at that. So again, for the mouth, I'm going to do 2 little, and then I'm going to go in like that, then up, and then down here, and then all I need to do is just rub away. This is why I like using the mechanical pencils as well, because they've got the rubber on the end, so you're not always fishing for your rubber every 2 seconds. So now let's just rub away those lines that I don't need. I think I'm going to use watercolour for this. I'm really sorry about my washer going off in the back. I'm not in my art room, everything was downstairs and I couldn't be bothered to take everything back up because time's precious, do you know what I mean? I'd have spent like, I'd have spent 15-20 minutes taking everything back up the stairs, and before you know it I've got no time left to do this. So I thought, oh well, I'm sure people won't mind having a bit of the washing machine in the background. Right then, so I'm just going to round off her face a bit more. It's better, I'm happier with it like that. Let's get rid of the lines that are inside there, because you wouldn't see them, would you? Sometimes what I do as well is use my phone and take pictures of my own face, just as a reference. You know, because then at least you've got that to hand as well, haven't you? Or just stick a mirror in front of yourself. I just thought as well, if anybody's interested, this is the book I've been using at the moment to do some work on my faces. So if anybody else, you know, I do, it is a really good book, that is. I've got my travel watercolour set because, as I've said before, I think that the pigments are better in this. So I'm just going to colour in the face and let's see how we go. Oh, I did say I was going to go into it, didn't I, with some I don't like my brush, it's all gone funny. I'm going to use this other brush. The little brush that comes with it is brilliant. I am going to use a tiny bit of gesso as well with my watercolours, which is something I do quite often, just to mix the colours a bit better, give it a bit more highlight. And this seriously needs knocking back now because I made a bit of a mistake, but see, it's easily sorted. So it's making quite a nice flesh colour now. I absolutely love this tiny little brush that comes with this travel set. Don't know what it is about it. I think it's just because it's I don't know, it's so small, it's really easy to hold and everything. It's a lovely brush. I think that those are the main darker areas, and then again what I'm going to do, I'm going to wet my brush and I'm just going to knock it back with a bit of gesso. Right then, now I'm going to think about where the light areas are. So I'm going to get a bit more gesso out, and then the lighter areas are in your T-zone here. So obviously the tip of the nose would be the lightest, and all around this section here. So now it's just a case of smoothing that in. Right then, so that's the face, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to do her lips now. So I'm going to get a nice red. Let me just check. I like that one. Whenever I'm painting, I usually check on the paper that I'm using, so because it'll look different colours, I think, on different papers. So even if you've just got a little bit of scrap to one side, just test it on there maybe. So there's the lips, and then eyes. What colour should I do them? I always like blue eyes. Blue or green are my favourite colours, because that's the colours of my daughter's eyes. So put some blue in. I know that looks really in your face at the moment, but it won't, because I'm going to put, once it's dry, I'm going to put some gel pen in or something just to give it a bit more. And then the inside of the eye, I will do that in black pen, and then a little bit of white pen as well, just for the front, just for the shine and stuff as well, the reflection. I might do brownie ready hair. Does that make sense? It's a new colour, brownie ready. Well, I might as well just more like a gingery colour. I love red hair. A lot of my girls, I put red hair on. I think this is more or less going to be the same colour as the lips. Oh, I love that colour. Don't know what it is. It just looks beautiful, doesn't it? I love red. I hope she works when I scan her and then put wings on her. And then I'm going to put another one, another fairy as well, playing with my leaves like I said. Right, I might add a bit of a different, like, is it brown gonna? Because I mean nobody's got hair that's one colour. Mine isn't anyway, nowhere near. All I'm doing is a t-shirt. Right then, just to let you all know as well that the hashtag event starts on Thursday. So the Creative Arts Collaboration have come up with another hashtag event, which I have done 3 videos for. It starts on the 17th till the 20th of this month. We're not allowed to release what the hashtag is yet, but there will be a fall theme. So I was a bit gutted really that I haven't got a my mini journal can't go up on it because it doesn't start till Thursday. Oh well. But whilst looking online for that, I've just seen a super initiative online. Has anybody heard of the Crayon Initiative? It was just popped up on Facebook. This man collects old crayons, like, you know, the wax ones, and once they're like, you know, nobody wants them, they donate like all the end bits to him, and he's got a team of volunteers, and they melt all the crayons down and they remake them into new crayons. Like, there's pictures on Facebook of him melting them down, like in his house, I'm sure he is. So he's melting down these crayons and then he's sending them to like local hospitals and stuff. He makes them into like proper crayons, into boxes. Now, I'd never heard of this thing before, and I think it's a super idea. I don't know whether like anybody can donate or whatever, but what a lovely thing to do. And then there's all these pictures of these happy kids in these hospitals receiving these beautiful new wax crayons. What a nice person. Right then, sorry, it is art related, but I digress. Right then, my fairy is looking okay. But I hope you guys can join us on the hashtag event. Like I said, I've got 3 videos that I'm hoping to post with a fall theme or autumn theme. So I'm hoping that everybody will like what I have, what the videos that I've got to offer for that. It's always really good on the hashtag events. You know, all you need to do is just type in the search bar what the hashtag is when it's released, and then you can go and see absolutely loads and loads and loads of videos. My travel kit has seen better days. There's hardly any paint left in it now. Look how well loved this is. I only bought it a few months back, but it is literally, it's the best colours in it. So, as you can see, I don't just use it when I'm out and about. The colours are lovely. I don't know why I started using gesso in my watercolours, I'm not sure. I don't know whether I've seen somebody else do that. You know, when you watch so many things and just you forget who you've seen do what. But it does work. I feel like it works anyway. I'm not so pleased with how this other hand's turned out. I've done something wrong and I can't figure out what it is. I get really stressed when I'm doing the eyes because I just keep thinking, I hate it when I do them. Sometimes I end up doing them and they're completely different sizes. And I don't want that to happen. Right, and there we go. I think I have jinxed it a bit because I have gone wrong somewhere on that eye. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a bit of white in. Hopefully it doesn't look too bad, but we learn from our mistakes, and you know, there's nothing I can it's not like I did it intentionally. Right then, so let's just give a, there we go. Right then, I'm going to leave, I think I'm going to need to do something about a nose. I'm going to need to put something in because when I scan it, you're not going to be able to see it. So, like it needs to stand out a bit more than what it is at the moment. So let's get some paint on it. Right then, now what I'm going to do, hopefully, is not wreck it. It's just that you've got to be able to see that a bit better than what you could at the moment. Let's get the muslin cloth and let's knock that back again. Right then, that's a bit better than what it was. Let's try and have a look. Right then, I'm happy with that now, that's fine. Sorry guys, but nothing's complete with that bit of gel pen, is it? Some people probably hate the fact that I put gel pen in everything. I have finished doing my fairies. I've gone upstairs, I've printed them out, and I'm all ready to start my page now. So what I've done is I've got some elements off camera. I had loads of magazines from, just some free ones from Asda. The other day I picked up one of those. I don't buy anything from them, I purely pick them up for collage purposes. And I also had a Cotswolds outdoor leaflet come through the door. So what I've done is I've gone and I've got together loads of images which I think are going to be good for an outdoors theme. So what I've done, I mean that's going to be a bit too big in hindsight looking at this, but I've just cut them all out. So if I just go through what I've cut out, obviously I've got in amongst all this stuff my fairy here with wings that I've chosen that I'm going to put on her, like so, and then I'll put some pen and stuff onto these. This is my other fairy as well. I'm not so pleased with this fairy, but you know, she still serves her purpose. So that's going to be her wings. So I'll put those to one side, and let's just talk through these bits that I've got here. I've cut out the Cotswolds outdoor leaflet. As you can see, it's got a couple on here. But what I'm going to do, hopefully, is put it on to my page in such a way that you won't be able to see the couple, but you'll be able to see some of this. I'm going to put some leaves here so it will get rid of some of this text, hopefully. And then inside of the brochure I've just cut up loads of, there was little bits of log, leaves, stones, there was a little hedgehog which I'm going to put on there, a little house thing which I thought might be quite cute to put there, and I don't know whether you'll be able to pretend that it's a little house for the fairy or whether it'll be too big. There was a little squirrel thing on, that was on a, what was that on? That was on a cushion. It was like a little thing on a cushion, so I've took that out as well, so that might go on. And then there's a thing saying home, so I didn't know whether I could put that above there. I don't know. I'm going to have a play. If any of you are interested in doing collage like this, the best people to look at online that I've seen so far are Packaday, and also Gina Aarons as well, does a Collage Friday. I'll put a link to those two people down below because those people are my inspiration. I would love to do collage as well as what they do. I can see that these people are on here, but what I want to do is get that image down there and then let's go from there. Guys, I just thought I'd fast forward through this because it did take quite some time for me to decide where to put all the bits down. All I've done here is put everything down with Pritt Stick and then just gone over it with a bit of muslin cloth just to make it look all neat and to get rid of all the sticky bits from the outside. I'm pleased with the end result, but all I'm going to say is that the people I've watched on YouTube, such as Packaday and Gina Aarons, make this look easy. I found it quite challenging at some points, like, because I wanted to make it look perfect, but I'm just realising it's not going to look perfect, but I'm pleased with my end result. It's the first time I've done anything like this, so you know, it's all a learning curve, and the end result was good in the end. Here maybe. I think she's looking too big now I've done it. I think I need to make them a lot smaller. A lot smaller. And then what I've done here is I've made them a lot smaller. I think this is about the size that I need to do. And I've also incorporated some of the little fairies that I made for the Deconstructed Art Journal group. I've got a little fairy reading, little fairy with a cuppa, little fairy that's got some flowers. So I've put them in, and I might have to paint those. So let's see if I can paint them on this. The paper that I've used is super smooth. I do buy it from Create and Craft. I mean, I'm sure that loads of places sell it though. I'm not going to need all of these for all of these fairies for this page, just a few, but I don't like to waste the paper, so I just made it worth my while and printed out more things. The watercolours are taking all right actually on this super smooth, so that should be okay. So there's all the little fairies ready to go on my page. Here is that page. Right then. So now all I've got to do is think about where they've got to go. There might be too many. Right then. So that fairy I might have up here, and she's going to be playing with leaves, and I'm going to punch them out in a moment. That fairy, she could go over here on the rocks maybe. And then where could she go? See the perspective of it, she can't go over there. Maybe she could go here. Oh, I wanted my reading fairy in. I don't think there's going to be room for her. Normal cup of tea fairy. Put those ones in for now. What I've got as well that I want to put in is my punch. So I'm going to punch out some leaves, some envelope. One of my envelopes, old envelopes, and I've just cut some of that up. So let's have a go with that. I'm going to get my ink pads, which are the only ones I've got. Barn Door, Fire Brick and Aged Mahogany. And I'm going to get a bit of each one of those on the leaves. I quite like the idea of having the little house inside there. If I go around that with a black pen, I'm going to go free. I know the perspective's not exactly right with the door and the size of the people, but let's not think about that. Right, then all I'm going to do now is just get my pen and just draw into the leaves, going around the outside of them as well. Okay then guys, that's the autumn inspired page for today. I hope that you've enjoyed that. It was a bit of a challenge. It was really quite hard doing the collage elements, I must admit. But this is something I've not really tried before. So I mean, at least, you know, I've done it now and I'll persevere, get better at it. The same as drawing hands as well. Another thing that I've got to practice. So that's it for today. And don't forget, as always, to like, comment and subscribe, and also put down below any other prompts that you might like to see. So thank you very much, and I'll see you again soon.